What is going on, YT? It is your boy Diego, but as always, you can call me Chancho. And today's story is one that contains broken friendships. It's one that contains us almost getting killed by some hillbillies in the middle of the woods. And it's one that contains me almost losing one of my best friends because of Quaker Oats oatmeal. If you guys are new to the channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I do want to apologize. I still have some residue left over from some temporary tattoos that I used in my last video. Feel free to check that out. I'll link that below. And without further ado, let's go straight into the story. It's the spring of 2016, and me and my friends are in college. So my friend Eric is like, hey, do you want to go to Florida with me and some other friends? Well, I have a friend over there that has a place where we can stay, and it's going to be a good time. Spring break. Woo woo! And so at first I'm a little skeptical, but I'm like, okay, fine. Now, if there's one thing that you gotta know is that when you travel with your friends for a week-long trip, you really learn a lot about them because you're stuck in a confined space, especially driving from Texas all the way to Florida. It's like a 20-some hour drive. So we're on our way over to Florida, and on the drive over there, I should have taken this as a sign, but one of my friend's truck's tires pops on the way, and we're stuck and stranded in the middle of nowhere. And this hillbilly family picks us up. Long story short, because that's not the main part of the story, but long story short, they like drag us over into one of their houses in the middle of the woods, and I thought we were gonna get like killed and like maybe eaten. I don't know, it was pretty scary. But after that happens, we get to Florida, whatever. So on the first night that we're in Florida, we think, hey, since we're gonna be here for a whole week, instead of eating out every single day, because that's gonna add up, why don't we just go ahead and buy some groceries and eat at home or eat at our friend's house? That way we don't spend so much money on food. So we go to Walmart, we buy peanut butter and jelly, we buy a bunch of other goodies, but most importantly, because we want to save money on breakfast, my friend Eric is like, hey, let's get some instant oatmeal. Now, growing up in a Mexican family, we never really made instant oatmeal, so I didn't know how to make it. And so the morning that we're going to take off to the beach, my friend is like, hey, I'm going to go load up the truck, why don't you please make me some oatmeal? Now, keep in mind, I have never, ever made oatmeal, and me and Eric are really good friends at this point. And so I'm like, yeah, Eric, I'll make you some oatmeal. That sounds like a good idea. So I get the instant oatmeal, I get the water ready, I mix it up, but I've never made instant oatmeal, so I don't know how much water to put in it. So when I start mixing the oatmeal with the water, I start noticing that it's really watery. And I'm like, I don't think this is how it's supposed to look. I'm not sure. I'm not a Quaker Oats savant, so I'm not really sure if it's supposed to look like that. So when Eric is loading up the truck and he comes inside, he takes a look at the oatmeal and he's like, what is this? Why did you make the oatmeal like this? It is disgusting. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Eric. I was just trying to please you. I should have put less water. I apologize. And he's like, this is unacceptable. I will never ever eat this oatmeal. And he takes it, like snatches it away from my hand, throws it into the trash. And when he throws it into the trash, I felt like a little piece of my heart got thrown into the trash as well. And I'm like, I was just trying to please you, sir. So he doesn't eat the oatmeal, and I had made one for myself as well, and it was pretty watery, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna let this go to waste. So I get one spoon, take a spoonful, one spoonful of oatmeal, and I eat it. And okay, look, Eric, to be fair, it did taste really nasty. A little disclaimer here, me and Eric are still friends to this day. In fact, you'll catch him on my streams every now and then. He's one of my best friends to this day. So I got one spoonful of oatmeal, I put it in my mouth, and like I said, it was really watery, kind of nasty. So after one spoonful, I'm like, all right, that's not gonna cut it for me. I throw it away after one spoonful. We load up the trucks, we all get in, and it's about a 3-hour drive over to the beach that we were gonna go to. I believe we were going to Daytona or something, which, by the way, guys, if you've ever been to Daytona Beach during spring break, we didn't know it because we're not from the area, but it seems like there's a lot of old people over there. We were trying to, like, you know, meet up with some honeys, some girls. This was before Ashley, so she can't get mad about this. I don't know if it's a secret thing, guys. If you guys are from Florida, let me know why there's so many old people at Daytona Beach during spring break, but all we saw was some like retired citizens, people unfit for active duty. There was a lot of silver foxes. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if that's a correct term or not, but there's so many old people getting pushed around in wheelchairs. Like, there was just so many old people at this beach, and so it was not the vibe for us, right? So after we drive 3 hours to this geezer beach that we were at, we were like, this isn't the vibe, we gotta go to Miami or something. So it took us 3 hours to get here, and none of us have eaten anything for breakfast because we got up early and drove over to the beach, right? So by now it's already lunchtime, and here's where the story takes a dark turn, okay guys? So we're all hungry because we didn't eat anything in the morning, and so we're sitting in my friend Eric's truck, and we're like, hey, it's me, my friend, I'm not gonna call him by name, so I'm gonna call him Juan. Let's just call him Juan. It's me, him, and our other friend Ryan. And when Eric got down from this truck, me and the other friends that were in the truck are like, man, we're really hungry, guys. Like, we should get something to eat. Well, Eric is driving, so let's go ahead and ask Eric if he wants to take us to get some food. Eric gets in the car. I don't know why he was in a sour mood. It's probably because of all the old ladies that we were looking at. It just wasn't, easy on the eyes. And so he's already in a bad mood, and I'm the one who decides to speak up and say that we're hungry. So I'm like, Eric, a lot of us are hungry. We're kind of starving. Do you want to consider taking us to get some food, maybe, sire? If it's not too much trouble, please. You're not going to believe it. Eric loses it. Let me show you guys what happened. He's in the front seat. I'm in the back seat. Here's how it looks like. What did you say? I'm not kidding. He's like, what did you say? Did you just say you were hungry? And I'm like, yes, sir. I'm hungry. Please feed us. And he's like, how can you possibly be hungry? You're the only one who ate breakfast this morning. And I'm like, Eric, I'm sorry to have upset you, sire, but all I had was one spoonful of oatmeal. And he's like, that's one more spoonful than the rest of us. And at this point, the truck is awkward because they're just witnessing verbal abuse right in front of their eyes. They don't know how to react. I didn't know how to react. It was scary. I didn't know if he was about to lunge at the back seat, maybe hit me with one of his flip-flops. I didn't know what he was going to do to me. It was really scary. It was an awkward situation, all because I had the audacity to say that I was hungry after I had one spoonful of oatmeal. So if you're ever talking to Eric, or if you know Eric in real life, make sure to remind him about the oatmeal story, because I always bring it up to him, and he's already apologized. Like I said, to this day, we're still homies at this point. But I didn't know what he was about to do to me at that moment. I didn't know, like I said, he was gonna lunge at me. He was gonna like choke slam me, tombstone me, like RKO me out of nowhere. I didn't know what was gonna happen. So after he screams at me for wanting food after I had one spoonful of oatmeal, everybody in the car finally decides to speak up. They should have had my back earlier. What's going on with those guys? But they're like, okay, Eric, like, we're all hungry. And he's like, you can still see the smoke coming out of his ears. You can still see the lava pouring down from his eyes. Like, he's just angry. After that happened, we did end up going to McDonald's and we all ate. And after we had our food, Eric did calm down afterwards. It did take a few years before I even said the word oatmeal. I think it was like a traumatic event for me. PTSD from Quaker Oats. I took a break from Quaker Oats after that too. But you'll be pleased to know that I eat Quaker Oats now and I make it pretty well. Again, this story is one that I really wanted to share with you guys, because no matter how close you are, you're going to find reasons to bicker, even if it is over just like a 4-ounce cup of oatmeal. But yeah, there you guys go. That's just the end of the story. And Eric, to this day, I already forgave you, and we've already spoke about this. I've seen several counselors about, how to manage your friend getting mad at you over oatmeal, so I'm doing fine. If you know Eric personally, all you have to do is say the word oatmeal to him and he'll remember the story. And yeah, our friendship is mended, and that does it for today's video. Just wanted to hop on and give you guys a quick story, and that's all I got for you guys today. See you guys in our next video. Peace.